Hello, today's date is February the 22nd, 2008, and I'm going to go over my run real quick here. Basically, let me get this camera a little straightened out here. Sorry, I didn't have my tripod. Okay, February 22nd, 2008, and it is a Friday night, almost about 11:15. And I want to go over my workout for today. Today was day number 6. It was day 6 of my workout of week 12. And I got a total of 20 weeks on here, but week 12 was interesting. It was an 8 miles on a long steady hill of 4 to 8% grade at a 7:36 pace. This is kind of a bone of contention with me. And so what I did was, I knew I wasn't going to be able to run 8 straight miles up a 4 to 8% grade at this 8 miles. So what I did was I alternated every 2 minutes. I put the treadmill, technically would have been about 7.9 miles per hour. I ran it at 8 miles per hour. And I alternated. I ran for 60 straight minutes. The first 2 minutes I ran at a 0% grade. The next 2 minutes I ran at a 4% grade, and I alternated that the entire run, which equals exactly 8.0 miles. And so actually I had half of the elevation done. But the big thing was that I also burned off 1,020 calories too. This run was awesome. I mean, I did this last week around this time, only I did 7 miles, but I added an extra mile here, so it was kind of cool. I actually did it a little bit better. And what's so cool about running on hills is that when you run on hills, you increase your lactate threshold, you burn more calories, as I noted in my book, Treadmill Marathon Guide. In the weight loss section, you actually burn more calories by running up the hills. And and of course, it helps you when you're running doing your road races. Of course, you're going to have to get used to hills, and hills can range anywhere. Hills can be as high as 15% grade. I'm going to try to increase the grade next time to maybe 5%, but right now I'm going to stick with 4. So I'm real proud of myself, and this training just keeps getting better and better. I haven't had a drink in almost 2 weeks now, alcohol. I'm almost 2 weeks beer-free. So I'm just like having a blast with my training here. And I want to talk about real quick why I take my training so seriously and what I'm using this for. You see, I have a friend that kind of moves around the country a lot, and he says to me, Steve, I like to go hiking. And I said to him, we'll call him Jerry. Okay, I'll say, Jerry, Jerry can't really find his niche in life. He kind of just is a drifter. He's a nice drifter. He's not one of those psychotic drifters that, rapes and robs people and then leaves town. He's a nice guy. Very compassionate, this Jerry guy, but he just doesn't know what he wants to do. So I said to him, I says, well, Jerry, I says, I'm a runner, as you know, and I says, I don't just say, okay, I like to go running every so often and just, burn off some calories. I actually like to compete. And I says that, what you ought to do, and he can't find a job, and he's always he's kind of I said he's a drifter, and he doesn't really want to, I'm not a real corporate person. I think corporate America is a lot of BS. A lot of the structurization of it is, and there's issues I have with it. But I do want to say that he kind of doesn't really know his niche in life. But I said to him, I says, why don't you take up something that you're passionate about? Like I says, I do my running, and I don't just run and for the sake of just jogging. I compete. I set goals for myself. And he's like, well, no, I'd like to go hiking. And I said, I didn't tell him this yet, but I think the next time I talk to him, I tell him, get yourself a hiking magazine, find out the type of gear you need, and then, of course, get yourself a job where you can support your hobby. So that's kind of the situation with him. And the question is, this goes back to why am I bringing this subject up of setting goals, is that I think that this pressure that I'm putting on myself with my running, aka the Boston Marathon this year, 2008, it's going to lead to better things. I mean, I don't have a job right now, and I haven't been, I sell some of my stuff, and I did some consignment selling on eBay last year, And I've even had to sell some of my personal stuff to just survive because I have my own apartment and stuff. But I haven't worked, and part of it was I was in school full time for 3 years, and it was very difficult for me to work full time and all that other stuff. And plus, I got free money from the government, and I had to maintain a low income level to keep the funding coming. But I just haven't. I'm thinking, Steve, if you can work your way into the situation where you at least, do something, with your time. I mean, you're productive with if you can make this work for you, think about what else you can do. I've said this before. Now, statisticians may say differently. I think there are about 1,500 people in the country, the United States of America, that can run a sub-3 marathon. And I haven't run a sub-3 yet. I'm on my way to do my first one, and maybe many more to come at that point. But I'm thinking that this is such a great goal for me to have because it's structured. I keep a logbook. Sometimes I started keeping these in an audio diary, but then I stopped doing it. But I might just rehash it all. But I'm keeping accurate records of my daily runs, and that's where I'm sticking with. So my point here is that running a marathon or running competitively is giving me structure in other areas. I'm putting out resumes for my jobs right now. I'm kind of disappointed. The job market's bad in America. I am one of the few people, most of your dedicated runners, I found this statistically, I think the average income of the person that subscribes to Runner's World magazine is like $80,000 a year. It's some ridiculous amount for an average. And I don't subscribe to Runner's World magazine, but if I did, I'd be like in the 1% that doesn't have a freaking job. It's unbelievable that I'm actually competing in running in a sport where most people are professionals and have great incomes and money, and you'd think they would party. Of course, if you're a runner, you can't party all the time, but they've got a lot more going financially than I do. And even my book doesn't sell a lot of copies to support me. I need a full-time job. But I was even thinking about even going as far as getting into weight loss training and doing a video series on it because I've been so successful in this arena. But my point is that why do I do this long distance training? And the answer is very simple, because it's helping me set goals in other areas where I wouldn't set them. So I think that if you can take yourself and push yourself to do the things you don't want to do. I need to be running because, number one, I have I don't have attention deficit disorder anymore like I used to, but I had it for a long time. But I do get very anxious at times, and I need a natural aphrodisiac or a natural aphrodisiac. I need a natural tranquilizer to calm me down, as you can probably tell. And I just need to have the running. Okay, I can't see myself not running 20 years from now. I can't see myself 3 years from now saying I'm done. I'm just gonna quit running. I'm all set. Sorry, I'm looking at the time on my camera. So, anyways, that's my reason for running, and that's why I do what I do. And all I can do now is hope to get a job soon. And find something professional. I do computers I don't do computers. I operate a computer with, the stuff I do on the computer, like sales and stuff like that. I do have the ability to repair my own computer. I've got a lot of skills. My resume is outstanding. But as I said, I haven't worked in a couple of years and a consistent work for anybody, maybe 3 years. And so why do I do running? Well, running is pushing me in other directions. I might pick up the guitar and the banjo again. I always say to myself now, it's so amazing when like today, I didn't feel like getting on that freaking treadmill and running on it. My leg is sore. I mean, my left leg, I can't stretch it very well, but I pushed myself and I finished my run, and lo and behold, 8 miles is done, and kaboom, I'm done. So just remember that running, like anything, you want to set structured goals. Like my friend Jerry, who likes to go hiking, doesn't have a job, really is kind of a drifter, but I like him anyways because he's a nice one of those nice guy drifters. He just doesn't know what he wants out of life. I says, get yourself a hobby and have some structure to it. Not just I like to go in the Nevada mountains or the Grand Canyon and go hiking type of thing, and just do it sporadically. Get yourself organized and do it, and become competitive in it even if you have to. So that's my reason for running, and of course I enjoy it too, and I'm going to continue to do it because nothing could be worse than running from at this point. I'm running out of time here. I got 14 seconds left. Thank you, and today's date is the 22nd of February 2008, and I'm out of here.